What is something that is highly likely to happen in the next 10 years that everyone is completely ignoring? Probably some kind of modern-day Great Depression. I don't know, I'm completely ignoring it. Water scarcity is already a problem in a lot of places, and we've mostly been ignoring it. It is going to get worse. Content creators getting older and not realizing they'll be out of a job. Large areas of the planet will run out of water and the water wars will begin. The Amok collapsing, / not really ignoring, but I feel it's flying under the radar. The world supply of helium is dwindling rapidly. I work in an industry that uses a buttload of He and we've been told to retrofit devices that use He to H2. So far it's not going so well. Use of AI will create depression levels of unemployment because we have no plan. Global financial crisis from U.S. debt. Kenan Thompson will leave SNL. Loss of entry-level jobs, that's what's scary. If you fall on hard times you can pick up extra work but it'll get harder. I'm curious if any of these posts exist from 10 years ago to see how stupid the comments normally are. Climate change getting significantly worse but at least solar panels are getting significantly better. Massive slowing in scientific research, then a resurgence. Or a major shift in where the majority of scientific research is conducted. People seriously underestimate how much the US government supported science, and now that's been severely hampered. NCBI and a lot of other resources are globally used by scientists, and a lot of conversation science is in the US. The administration has cut a lot of funding to everything from cancer treatments to a gigantic women's health study. The European Union has strong scientific support, but not quite the same infrastructure the US has built up. The political environment also makes it questionable how much support there is to build it up. China is hungry for scientific and technological knowledge, so it may gobble up researchers. World War III. The crazy thing is we might be on the cusp already or in the starting phases. Remember, no one involved in World War I and II knew in the beginning it was a world war right away. People may be able to regrow missing teeth. https://www.dentistrytoday.com/researchers-in-japan-discover-medicine-capable-of-teeth-for-humans. AI goes to war with itself and everyone is caught in the middle. Mass migrations from India into Europe. Someone using world leaders' Google and AI history to blackmail them. AI cutting 1/3 of jobs. Maybe World War III. LOL. I love how all the answers are doom and gloom. First contact. They have been prepping us in the last few years. Water crisis is inevitable with data centers. I guess we now know why Nestle was buying up water rights. Water isn't a human right. Famine. If the Strait of Hormuz doesn't open soon, there will be fertilizer shortages. AI runs up costs so that companies cannot afford real employees. They start giving up parts of the company to the AI company. Soon AI companies own and run most businesses. Social Security is going to be massively cut if not entirely obliterated. Congress has cumulatively stolen borrowed about $3 trillion from the account and played an intragovernmental treasury bond shell game with the repayment plan and, redeeming the bonds when it needs to pay benefits. In the US in about 2032 to 2033 we're going to see almost 100 people get to take a bite out of the shit sandwich our elected representatives have made for us. The absolute collapse of white-collar job sectors, which will lead to an exodus to blue-collar sectors, depressing wages there as well. It's going to be a new AI-caused Great Depression, but worse, because the only way out is a transition to a post-jobs economy. And no government in the world knows how to do that. It's unprecedented. Plus they won't understand they need to until years of suffering force the issue. Fungal microbes will adapt to enter the human bloodstream. Already happening, but rising temps will exacerbate. I can't think of an answer that doesn't involve AI. Decoupling of the petrodollar from Middle Eastern oil countries. Pollinator deficits causing en masse crop failures. Many more retail stores will be going out of business. Polio resurgence in the US. Global warming will make Cleveland and Akron the best location in the nation, once again. I'm almost certainly going to jerk off at some point in the next 10 years. I don't think people are paying much attention to it, nor do I want them to. Many schools and colleges will close. There simply aren't as many kids. There's going to be a truly abysmal natural disaster that makes that location uninhabitable. The Gulf Coast of the U.S., specifically Florida or Louisiana, are just waiting for it, and with the extreme ocean temperatures happening right now, it could be any day now. To think otherwise is to rely on hopes and prayers. The takeover of Western society by PC-controlled, LGBT-pushing, woke liberals. Mass migration over water and climate conditions. Throughout history, groups of humans have completely moved from their homelands over climate conditions, droughts, little ice ages, etc. I don't know why we don't expect them to continue, especially in a more volatile climate. They are as recent as the Dust Bowl in America. If the choice is starvation or migration, that people are going to move. Honest, have high hopes for teleportation. It will be a quick and easy access to holiday destinations. Antibiotic-resistant bacteria will become a major global health crisis. Mass wet bulb disaster. The collapse of the US dollar as a result of our massive debt coupled with lowered interest rates in the face of higher inflation. Result is likely rapid devaluation of the dollar versus all other currencies and end of the dollar dominance on global trade. Once this happens, sanctions will cease to be an effective tool to influence other countries, leaving the US with only diplomacy and warfare. Ocean waters rising. Most of the beaches you lay out on now will be underwater, and the water will be much closer to hotels and buildings. Super El Nino is going to wreck agriculture all over the world for a few years. Crops and livestock will be affected, more fires and landslides. Water shortages, famine, disease. The world will see the beginning of the population decline. With millions too old or infirm to work. Young people will become immensely more valuable. We in the highly industrialized nations will start to pay attention to Japan to see what has and what hasn't worked. Immigration will be a national priority. Complete failure of Western democracies. Situation in France, UK, Germany feels like a dead end, and everyone is kinda ignoring it, hoping to keep the status quo for some time. US, no comment. Lots of places bout to have no water. Food is still relatively cheap and available compared to almost all of human history. I would guess with bigger weather swings and corporate profits, food will be at least twice as expensive. I see good healthy fresh food being even more crazy, like 2-3x. Major cities in the southwestern United States run out of water. Massive strife and war, acknowledge it or not. The conflicts for resources is in full swing globally. Social Security Trust funds spend down. I think that would be technological advancement. Another COVID-type event with a virus. A nuclear weapon being used by a country. When a weapon capable of shooting down a ballistic missile is developed. Especially with hypersonic missiles being used prolifically.